I wanted to make a video about belief because there are so many human beings that call themselves non-believers, that they do not believe. I'm not a believer. But I'm not here to judge, but in my experience, that has been in the context of religion. Like, yeah, I don't believe, as in I am not religious. But religion has nothing to do with believing in God. God is not religious. God is not any thought. It's not any ideology. God is not a set of rules. God is not. God just is. God has no opinion. God cannot take offense. God does not judge. All of these things are a product of the ego. The ego has opinions. The ego makes judgments. The ego evaluates, calculates, and compares and creates separation. Why? Because it's a contrasting world with light and dark and day and night and here and there and me and you and then and all of these things. And that is something that works in the way it does because otherwise there would not be free will. This is what enables free will. Without that, you would just be a being that is a function without awareness regarding any option at all. And it wouldn't even be like you wouldn't even be aware of options. Options would be non-existent. So you would just you wouldn't have the ability to fantasize, to wonder, to investigate, to do anything, to put anything in relation to anything else, because you would not relate. You wouldn't have the possibility to relate at all. And to be perfectly honest, belief is just a thought that you continue to think. And when you think about it often enough, it becomes a conviction. And when it becomes a conviction, it becomes a subconscious impression, which is more or less a habit. And when that habit has been created, it will be a feeling. It will be a conviction that is along the lines of a feeling, a general state of feeling, and that will be projected and reflected back to you, which will become your life experience through your perception. And how you perceive things is a choice. That's where your free will comes in, because you have the ability to transform and change things depending how you wish to view them. Like a conviction or an ideology, a conviction, anything. You can change your mind about anything. That's the power of free will and choice. And to come back to a non-believer, A disbelief is a belief because you believe so much in not believing. But you cannot do that without believing in something else. You're always believing in something. You cannot be like the definition of an atheist. Like a hardcore atheist, that's a believer. That's many times a stronger believer than many religious human beings by choice. That's a belief because you are believing so much in what you are believing in. And what you believe in is a thought that you continue to think. And if that has a set of rules connected and associated with it, you will impress that into your subconscious. And if those set of rules keep you stagnant and in a bubble where there are a lot of prohibitions and rules telling you what you can and cannot do, that is your choice. That's your choice. You make that choice. And I grew up for all my upbringing as a child with a set of rules and a set of skill set that was handed over to me that made my life really hard. It made my life full of anxiety, worry, and fear. And that was an ideology that was unhealthy in regards to a life of joy, happiness, peace, and prosperity and freedom. So I had to struggle with all of those impressions and change myself to become more true, loving, accepting, and healthy in relation to myself, to love myself, to appreciate myself, and to set myself free. And if I want to, I can call that ideology and all of those impressions that were impressed upon me from my caretakers a religion, because a religion is an ideology. It is a set of rules that says that this is the way it's supposed to be. This is the best way. This is how we have done it, and this is how we're gonna do it. And that almost killed me many, many times because it was a false idea. A false idea, a wrong idea, is something that is hurtful. And if you do that often enough, it becomes an idea. Ideology. That's an ideology. It's an idea maintained for it's a frequent it's a frequently maintained idea, which is a belief that you continue to have, a thought you continue to have that becomes a belief, despite what it is. And that's exactly what I have done to transform and to heal myself and to become a human being that is joyful, happy, and feeling free and loving myself. Because I have just started stating and affirming and creating the idea of something healthy, good, and loving in relation to myself. I maintain that idea frequently. I still do. And that becomes my new ideology. So is that my new religion? No, it is not, because I wouldn't call that a religion. Because, like I explained just a few minutes ago, the religion is an ideology that has a solution to everything. It is a stagnant point of view. It is something that we have arrived in. That this is it. And I don't want that, because I like to develop. I like to unfold. I love to become more, because I find out that, oh, I like to do this. I didn't know I like to create these kinds of things. I make music. I've done trance and techno for years, and I started making other types of music, just the way I wanted to do it and the way I wanted to express that. And if I was stagnant in my way of thinking, I would only make a certain type of paintings. I would only write in a certain fashion. I would only make the music that I've always made. And I would not learn and enjoy the richness of my expression that actually has no limit, because I don't know where the limit is. Maybe I can host a TV show. Maybe I can be an actor. Maybe I can write plays. Maybe I can run a cafe. You know, just be open-minded and live in a world of fantasy and joy inside yourself. It's like fantasy football, fantasy, but fantasy reality, because that's how reality is created. It's a thought and an emotion that is imagination, fantasy. And when you think about it, you believe it, and then it becomes manifested. If you're driven and if you're passionate and you get help from God, you get help from the source of all creation, as you are open and giving thanks and believing in it, then it helps you. But I am not saying that anything is right or wrong here, only that life is meant to be enjoyed, and you are meant to enjoy yourself. And I can only speak for myself. I can never speak for anybody else. I have my human experience, you have your human experience. But I like to enrich my life with everything. And I'm not talking about money. Money is just a vessel. Money makes things possible in a financially structural world. But I want to enrich my life. I want to get out there. I want to do more things. I want to do more things at home. I want to test my ability. Sometimes I wonder, I wonder if I can paint this. And then I do it. And that's also exciting, because when I'm done, I say to myself, yeah, I could do that. And you know what I compare that painting to? Nothing. I don't compare any of my creations to anything. I don't take a song and make it like, maybe I get inspired by some artist who did something with a Rhodes piano and like lo-fi beats. And I do that. And when I'm finished, I don't listen to my song in relation to what I got inspired from and like convict myself as a success or failure based on my source of inspiration. What's up with that? If I decide to make a painting or a drawing, like I want to draw a car, I want to draw a cartoon car, and then I draw the car, drew, and then I just observe that and enjoy that, and yeah, that's my creation, and I love that. I love to be like that. I love to love myself. I love to love my own expression. I love to love my own creations. And you know what that is? That is God. That is God. Because God does not compare. God is just like that, enjoying each and every one of us as a unique expression. And whatever we do, that we do with authenticity and that we celebrate as our own creation and expression, God and the universe celebrates a million times more because we are doing it right. That's right. We are not meant to compare. We are not meant to be held hostage. We are not meant to be a reflection of each other in evaluation and critique. That's wrong. That's wrong. But we get inspired, and we can get inspired by everything. But we create our own belief in ourselves and our own expressions, which is all about loving and celebrating life, our own life. And when we do, we feel grateful and happy, and we live a happy life. And that's a great idea. But keep it open. Keep yourself open. Don't land in a certain slot that's just, this is me until I die. I don't suggest that because you're holding yourself hostage. There is no God holding you hostage. You have no obligations to anything. You can set yourself free at any time if you choose to do so. God wants you to, because God wants you to be free and accept yourself and celebrate yourself and your own expression and creations. Like I'm about to do now. I'm gonna do some drawings because I feel like it. Because it makes me feel good. Yeah. It makes me feel God. Did I say a God? No, I didn't. It makes me feel God. And I feel that in my heart as I do what I love. Can you imagine that? That's beautiful. That's simple. That is so simple. There is no ideology or any thought revolving that. I just draw because it makes me feel good. And I feel God. I feel love in my heart. And I don't evaluate or judge anything I do when I draw. And then I've drawn something, and then I'm gonna continue reading a book I'm reading. All right. Peace.